Before I start this video, I want to thank the community because you proved me right once again, showing me that because of earlier this week, the video I did, your reaction, your immaturity shows that you aren't ready for a serious community. We're not ready to take our community back. It's really that simple. It's amazing how people can get upset over something I say for 30 seconds of an entire video and deem the entire thing trash. You know what? That's fine. Like I said to you people before, you can say about me whatever you want. I don't care at this point. All right? But understand, this type of behavior, it means that there's nothing that we have to say left to each other when you act like that. That's the understanding. If you can't understand what I'm saying to you, we weren't meant to stay in contact. All right? So people who act a fool and don't know how to act, yeah, go ahead. Go find another YouTuber. I don't have time for it. I really don't. But that immaturity, that behavior is a direct reflection of how the companies act as well, because they facilitate that down to the community. And that's how the community stays divided, and that's how the community stays being sold. That's right, because they keep using you, they keep abusing you, and that's what we're going to start today. I told you before, people, that I don't have very much sympathy for people these days. I told you before that I don't give many people the benefit of the doubt, because when you're surrounded by people who lie to you and stab you in the back, and you, even though you see the lies, you keep still giving them the benefit of the doubt. You catch them in their lies early, but you think they're going to change, and they don't. These are things that happen. And I'll put it like this. For what I saw today when I engaged with Peter Moore, that's right, engaged in some talks with Peter Moore, it took one tweet to get me on camera today. One. For those who don't know what's going on, the other day, Peter Moore got into it with a troll. And this is what he said on Twitter to that troll. It seems that Peter Moore doesn't understand professionalism and want to stop tooting his own horn, because as far as I'm concerned, you have to understand that fans are mad at EA because of the things they've done in the previous 5 years. There's a laundry list of problems and things that they have spawned. All right? So we know that. We're not going to get into that. However, Peter Moore sitting here bragging about how they're the #1 developer for the PlayStation 4, yet Titanfall isn't on the PlayStation 4, and the developers have said it's the reason because the PlayStation 4 isn't powerful enough compared to the Xbox One. That's right. So since Peter Moore wants to start going on about how they're #1, I decided to contact Peter Moore. And as you can see by those screenshots, I even left the links to those articles, the very same links that will be in the info bar for you as well, to show that I was not trolling him or outright attacking him. And what did Peter Moore do? How did he respond? So it's untrue. Is that what you're going to tell me? Now, #1, you never, Peter Moore, ever insult my intelligence telling me to read the article more carefully. #2, which article? Because I gave you 2 links, okay? And yet, you said nothing there. You spent more time on a troll than someone like me who actually gave you links and wanted to engage with you, talk to you, and see how these things could be worked out. All right? #3, okay? Since you didn't tell me which article I didn't read carefully, let's break them both down, okay? Because for people to understand, the Battlefield 4 one, let's put it like this. It's common sense, I'm sure, regardless if you like me or not, if you're watching this right now or not, we can all agree. Fix the initial game before you bring out the DLC. Am I correct? I'm sure we can agree with that, right? Okay, so how about this? You fix the initial game because that makes consumers happy. And when you fix that initial game, it makes them happy enough to want to buy the DLC. Or are you thinking to yourself, hey, we're just going to throw out the DLC anyway, regardless if we don't fix this game, like WB is doing right now with Batman Arkham Origins, okay? And they're just going to accept it. We're going to ram it down their throats, and they're going to fall in line, and they're still going to buy it regardless if they're complaining because we got what they want. Is that what you're thinking? If that's what you're really thinking, then I'll put it like this. It should tell you gamers what they think about you. You already know how EA feels about you anyway, just with the online pass alone, okay? Let's not get into this. But they're working so hard. Aren't they working to fix things? Is it still, a problem with Battlefield 4? A number of you have contacted me on Twitter saying, yes, this is still a problem. We've got problems with netcode. We've got problems with all these types of things. And yet they're working so hard. Obviously, you're not working hard enough. if there's still all these problems and all these bugs, but you're willing to move on to the next thing, right? Right? That's what this comes down to, right? Yeah. Like I said, next generation, pushing all this stuff, but you're not even fixing the things that you throw out there first, initially. But let's move on to the next link, okay? EA pays YouTubers to plug Battlefield 4, which, I don't know if that's what Peter Moore's talking about, but maybe that's untrue as well. That's funny, because I remember last year I did a video showing proof and pictures of Call of Duty commentators on YouTube being sent out the packs, that's right, by EA, so that they can try and pick their brain and see what the Call of Duty community could want, and then come back and plug Battlefield to their fans. Did we not see that? Did we not see the group pictures at PAX and everyone thinking they were so cool? We saw that. Matter of fact, not too long ago, Only Use Me Blade just did a Titanfall video, and this was said in his video.
So thank you to Respawn Entertainment. Thank you, iPod King Carter. Finally, you get to see some Titanfall. They were actually allowed us to upload it to YouTube so you guys can kind of see what it's all about. Now, here's the thing. They paid for my hotel, for my travel, even for rides to the airport and rides to the event. And I am forever grateful. So, 1, a 2. Oh, that 2 was... And a 3. And then let's get another one. 4? Can we go again? Can you get kid again? 5? That's sexy. But I'm sorry, and I want to say, I want to put this in the most positive way, because I don't want this to be a negative review about this. But Titanfall is not for me. And
understand the full video of that will be in the info bar. Only Use Me Blade puts up a really good video for this. And he explains some things as well, what you don't see in Titanfall. And you can just see by the overall gameplay just how bad the AI is. I mean, this guy goes on 5, 6, 7 kill streaks, melee. And I understand that's his thing. You know, he doesn't really use a gun. That's his thing. But when the AI is shooting at you and you're not dying, right? You're not dying. He's kicking them because the melee, you can snap their neck or you can just kick them. People are dying from a kick. From a kick, okay? Come on, man. This is crazy, all right? It needs to be, there's a lot, I told you, there's a lot of this game that needs to be fixed, or it's going to go the way of crashing and burning. But as soon as I say that, here come EA fans. Don't you see that? Why? Stop. Understand what's going on here. If this is supposed to be next generation, they should give you next generation. Not just 6-on-6 online and then shoot a bunch of bots. That's ridiculous. With no type of AI whatsoever. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Understand that this is going to be a problem in the future. Like I said, many Call of Duty commentators have said the same thing. And then you have other Call of Duty commentators who are coming out and praising this and are now under attack because people think they were paid for those reviews. That's right. But all this is untrue, right? It's still untrue, EA? Peter Moore is still untrue? All right, let's get into more of this. Since everything is so untrue, okay? First off, let's start with Dungeon Keeper. Now, we all know what's going on with the Dungeon Keeper game. There's been a lot of outrage over that, all right? Alpha Megason, you know, he covered it. Game Anarchist covered it. There's a lot of people who have covered this problem, but check this out. EA is filtering non-5-star ratings for Dungeon Keeper. That's right. So after you leave the app and you want to rate it, you have to rate it 5 stars. If you rate it anything lower than 5 stars, guess what happens? It sends you to EA, to their support, to give them feedback on how they can make this, okay, a 5-star game. Understand, if you want to rate it lower than that, you know what's going to happen? You got to rate it 5 stars, then go back into it, and then rate it lower. You got to be kidding me. All right? So not only is it filtering, but you're stacking 5 stars without anything else. Do you think people, if they want to rate it lower than that, especially for everyone who says that this is all a casual type game now, all right, and that this is, you know, they're pandering to mobile players, do you really think mobile players, majority of them, are going to sit here and write this lengthy thing out to EA in their survey on how they can fix it to make it 5 stars? No, they're just going to close out of it. That's all they're going to do. So people who really think that this game is lower than 5 stars are pretty much flying under the radar. They're going ignored. EA thinks it's a good start to things when it's not. Okay, but that's not all. No. All right. EA comes out and says that everyone is playing Dungeon Keeper. No, EA, not everyone's playing Dungeon Keeper. Just like you want to sit here and say that you're the #1 company or the #1 publisher for PlayStation. Look, the only #1 that you should be worried about is being the worst company in America again. You got 2 so far. Do you want to go for 3? Is that what you want to do? Because I guarantee you with this type of behavior, you're going to get it. This is ridiculous. And let's not forget, okay, that with EA, if you're going to sit here and if you get, I really do hope that you get, the worst company in America for a 3rd year in a row. And I really hope that you blame the gun manufacturers as well again. Oh, there's worse companies out there like gun manufacturers. The very same gun manufacturers that last year that you were in partners with because you wanted your guns from Medal of Honor to be legit. You wanted them to be, authenticated. So you signed a deal with gun manufacturers to put them in the game and then put into the, the inserts in your game saying, hey, if you like this in your game, maybe you'd really want to buy it in real life. No one's going to forget these things, EA. Peter Moore, for you to told you, it took 1 tweet, 1. And this is what you're getting. People understand. He's also, I went on Twitter, I saw a lot of death threats. Very uncalled for. They're video games. You don't need to threaten that man's life. This is how you handle the situation. Okay? You don't threaten his life. You don't do that. Absolutely wrong. And once again, it shows the immaturity of the community. People, understand, this is obviously something that's not going away anytime soon. But if all it took was 1 tweet, just 1, to get me to do this, this should be a clear example of just what I mean about how nobody is safe. I will go after everyone. Miss Gaming Ambassador Anita, where are you? Easy.